In this video, I want to share with you the importance of reminding children that they are good right where they are. They're good right where they are as they are young, so that they don't have to go out into the world and be somebody. They are already somebody, okay? They don't have to go out and be somebody. They already are somebody. Now, of course, as adults taking care of children, we want to be mindful of finding the balance of nurturing them in a way that develops them, that disciplines them. And discipline is teaching, it's not punishment, it's teaching, it's training. And being able to relax, right? So finding that balance, and everyone's got to find that balance while they're taking care of children. And it's not something that you do because you read all the books and went out to the workshops and went on the retreats. It's something that you learn on the job, right? On site with the kids, okay? Whether it's the kitchen, the car, the bathroom, whatever, wherever it is, the schoolyard, wherever it is, it's on-site training, okay? So how do we remind children that they are already somebody so they don't have to go out into the world? I think the world is full of people, full of adults who didn't know that they were somebody before they left home, okay? And if that's you, just tap your heart where you are, or put your hand on your stomach and do a breath, okay? The world is full of a lot of people like that. And I want to bring to this story that I want to tell you, I want to bring to this story a man that is very, very important to me, extremely important to me. And he's my dad, okay? A little story time. My dad grew up in an environment that was impoverished, okay? We're talking about the Bronx back in the 60s and 70s. He left in the 80s, and it was a lot. Anyone who knows, I wasn't there, but anyone who knows how it was growing up, and some people don't like the distinction between the Bronx and the South Bronx, because they say, oh, that's whatever, but the South Bronx, okay? So him and my two uncles were there with my grandmother, and she did the best she could to take care of them. And I'm not going to go into all the stories of how my dad's upbringing was, but there was a lot of poverty. There was a lot of heartbreak. There was abuse. There was pain, okay? And I bring this to our awareness because your dad may be that person. Your uncle may be that person. Maybe it's your son, and you're raising your son the best way you can. And then your son has to go out into the world and be somebody. Now I want to focus on the men because the men are not doing well. And we want to bash the men because they're not as good as we want them to be. But there's a system of oppression that exists, and we want to acknowledge that all of our men haven't had the chance to be the best that they can be, to be the most reliable that they can be. And it's not to give any passes, but to give us some understanding of what's going on and how we can raise our boys now. And I'm not a mother of any biological children, so I don't have any sons. But for the mothers who can resonate with this message is for you. And anyone working with boys, okay? When we respond to our boys in a way that lets them know that they are already somebody, it means that we're helping them to develop a secure attachment style. A secure attachment style. I want you to look up the different types of attachment styles and how the mom, the dad, the primary attachment objects, people, okay? The primary attachment people play a role in that child being able to develop a secure attachment style, okay? And in that, I want you to, there's a book out there, it's called Attached. There's a lot of books out there, but Attached is one that I've read, and it was really, really helpful for helping me to identify my attachment style. And I had to change my attachment style, so I'm more on the secure side instead of the anxious avoidance side, okay? And you may say, well, I'm more anxious, or I'm more avoidant, or I'm more, it's okay. Or I'm already secure. Wherever you are, there's something for you right where you are. Okay? Now, we want to respond to our boys in a way that lets them know that we hear them. You know that phrase, we love our sons and raise our daughters. And it's very painful because what happens is these boys grow up and they become men, and there's an imbalance in the courtship pool, the dating pool, the availability pool, because the girls were treated in such a way to where they had to be responsible, but the boys were taken care of. And it's very painful. We've seen this in families. So we want to respond in a way that develops their secure attachment style, give responsibility, give accountability, listen to what the boys are saying, help them to develop their emotional vocabulary so that they can describe how they're feeling, help them to build their confidence in more ways than just physical. Some men don't have the confidence to show up in certain ways because they have not been trained to show up in that way. So, teaching boys how to be... Hold on 1 second. A little background music. They haven't been trained to do certain things, so they don't have the confidence for it. But even the types of toys you provide at home from a young age can help them to expand their world, the type of books you read to them. Today we have more books representing Black and brown children than we've ever had in the history of books in the United States, okay? So get some books that can help your child expand their world and expand their understanding of their role in the world. And this reading aloud is so powerful in this way because when you're reading out loud, the spoken word creates images in the mind of the child when they have a picture in front of them. There's this wonderful book, and it's written by Megan Cox Gurdon, I think, Gurdon, Gurdon, and it's called The Enchanted Hour, and it is such a wonderful book on the power of reading aloud. Check it out. Now, as you're helping them to develop their understanding of their role in the world, give them actual opportunities to be in that role, okay? Yes, we want to have men in our community who are respectful and honorable and respectable, and we serve them. We serve our husbands, right? And we serve alongside the men in our community as women. We also want to raise our boys in a way that they are not expecting to be served everywhere they go because mommy serves them and sister serves them and grandma serves them. But we want to develop them in such a way to where they recognize they too are servants, so we can serve alongside one another. You see, it can be that simple. It's not so far off. It's just about getting the practice and being the people that we want to be, and it starts from young ages. We all take on different roles, and if we give our boys opportunities to do roles that are supportive of their brain development, it's going to help with community development. This is very, very exciting. Okay? So when we talk about developing our boys in such a way to where they don't have to go out in the world to be somebody, here's a recap. You're responding to them when they cry. You're talking to them. You're developing their emotional language. You're practicing empathy and curiosity. You're reading books with them, giving them opportunities to show them what, servanthood in the form of manhood looks like. They can serve alongside the girls. They can serve alongside the women. And you're developing their brain in a way that develops the community. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And that's how, in a nutshell, we can raise our boys in a way to where they don't have to go out and be somebody. Going back to my dad, we've had many conversations, and at the end of the day, the root cause of some of the things I saw with him was he didn't know that he was enough. He didn't know that. And he would be in different situations where he would try to help and tell jokes and offer advice, and he could not be fully secure in what he was giving because he didn't know that he's enough. And I bless the Most High for giving me that insight on who he is as a man, so that when I think about certain things, I can be more understanding, and then I can be aware with how I engage with people in these days of my life. okay? Because I'm always going to be my dad's daughter, right? But I have to take that information and put it in perspective, okay? I hope that this helps you in some type of way. And everything I said can be applied to the girls as well, but what I've noticed is that with this whole idea, this ideology of we love our sons and raise our daughters, that creates the imbalance, and the men are not as reliable to show up because they're expecting someone to show up for them, and they don't know how to do it for other people. And I'm not saying this is not all men. Oh, no. I'm not a feminist, gay man basher, okay? Not that at all. But I want us to be able to, be honest about the unfair ways that we treat the boys and the girls siblings in the house. And, we want to be able to create a more well-rounded world by teaching our men that they are already somebody from the time that they're young. The way we respond to their cry, the way that we hold them, the way that we get back on track, it's letting them know that we're here and you can do this, and you've got everything you need inside of you, and you are already enough, and you are enough so that you can recognize the enoughness, the sufficiency in the women around you and the men around you, that you can be a man of honor, that you honor your elders, you're responsive to your peers, your family, your friends, and that you can also be a mentor. I bless you. I want the best for you, and I see you.